Gilas needs to figure Australia out, Cohn stresses. After getting booted out of the 2025 FIBA Asia Cup by Australia, Gilas Pilipinas will be taking on the Boomers once again in the group phase of the FIBA World Cup qualifiers, which will start later this year. The Asian qualifiers of the 2027 World Cup will tip off in November of this year. Gilas and Australia are part of Group A, along with New Zealand and Guam. After the Philippines' 84-60 defeat at the hands of Australia in the quarterfinals Wednesday evening, Manila time, Gilas head coach Tim Cohn said that the team has to figure out a way to overcome the Boomers' dominance moving forward. "I got to give them the credit because they imposed their will on us, and we've got to figure out a way to overcome that at this point," he said. "And again, we've got them coming up again in the World Cup qualifiers. They're in our bracket, so we've got to figure out some things still ahead of us," he added. Australia is currently dominating teams left and right in the FIBA Asia Cup, winning by a margin of 25.3 points per game. The team is in the semifinals and will take on Iran in the Final Four. The big missing piece for the team moving forward, Cohn stressed, is the injured Kai Sato. Sato is currently recovering from an ACL tear, and hopefully we get Kai for the World Cup qualifiers, and that makes us a little bit more competitive. But at this point, it's really too early to look, and say, well, this is what we need at this point, he said. "We got to really digest this. We got to look at video. We got to see what's going on and go forward." Gilas exited the Asia Cup with a 2-3 win-loss record. After absorbing back-to-back defeats in the group phase at the hands of Chinese Taipei and New Zealand, the Philippines kept itself alive with a win over Iraq. The Nationals then punched a ticket to the quarterfinals after edging Saudi Arabia, after which they got blasted by the Aussies. Meanwhile, Cohn added that Gilas' composition is for the long term, and the squad is trying to grow together and get better. This, as there were some people who were asking for changes in the team. "If we're going to just go ahead and change personnel, then we're all back to zero again. So, we're going to use this and try to make some adjustments," he said. In the World Cup qualifiers, it will still be a tough road ahead, with Gilas grouped with heavyweights New Zealand and Australia. But in this year's window, Gilas will take on World No. 88 Guam on November 28 and December 1. The Nationals will battle World No. 22 New Zealand and Australia in the second and third windows. According to FIBA, the top 3 teams from each group will move on to the second round of the World Cup qualifiers. The top 3 squads from each group of the second round, along with World Cup host Qatar and the best 4th-place team between the 2 groups, will punch their ticket to the World Cup in 2027.